We'll do it live! Fuck it! Do it live!
Welcome to Mouthpiece, episode 168. Today we're going to talk about my last few weeks in poker, my NFL playoff picks of the week, and my documentary, of course, which is doing well. The Mouthpiece is next. What up? Welcome to the Mouthpiece, episode 168. 67. Okay. Today has not been a good day. I bet the Chargers like a square peg, and then I bet like the under at halftime, which was like 3-0 with 30 seconds to go until Herbert threw like 18 pick sixes. And I was so distraught. I was betting the Ravens in the late game, and I switched sides because I figure I just never win. I had Texas yesterday in the semifinal. They had first and goal at the 1, and I somehow lost that one. So I just figured, and as soon as I checkered myself, of course the Ravens won, because that's why I don't bet anymore. I'm telling you, I'm not even going to bet $1,000 anymore. It's too aggravating to me. Barry's on there. Trump is a felon. He's your fucking president, bitch. Yeah, he's a felon. Keep pushing that. Anyways, let's talk about last week. I didn't have a podcast. I think we talked about. We had a podcast the week before, so we did talk about the World Poker Tour events. I forgot all about that. Yeah, so that was already done. So I started playing poker again this week, and I started playing some Omaha 8 Stud 8, grinded a little bit from that, picked up like $500-600, and then I started playing in my app game again, and put in a lot of hours. The last few days was stuck like 12,000, and then I grinded back and was like 13,000 winner, and then I somehow found a way to lose 25,000 in 3 hands. I somehow, on the board of, in a 3-bet pot, the board was ace, king, queen, deuce with 3 diamonds, and I had ace jack with the ace of diamonds, and I couldn't beat the king deuce. Then on the very next hand in a 3-bet pot, I 3-bet aces, and I got 3 callers, and it came 3 deuce with 2 hearts, and I bet about maybe half the pot into like 4 players, and I got 1 caller. The turn card came the 5 of hearts. I checked. He bet small. I called. I had the ace of hearts, and the river was like a blank. And this is like the only mistake I made, I thought, yesterday. And I checked. He bet 5,800. I just didn't think he had any bluffs. And I called, and he flopped quads of quad 3s. And so that was like a 5,800 mistake I made yesterday. Next thing you know, I'm back down 12. And the last hand of the night, I flopped a set of 7s against aces and deuces to get half that back. So I lost like 5,200 for the day. And then I played today for an hour. I'm up 5K. So I'm dead even for the week. But I've lost every football game, so I'm down like 5K on that. So, But I made up my mind. That's it. I'm not going down that rabbit hole again. So, actually, today was the first day I got tilted in sports, and so that's why I ended up losing in this late game. But it is what it is. So, anyway, let's talk about my documentary. It's doing well on Amazon Prime. If you haven't watched it yet, Daniel, do you have the link to put up?
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat.
Okay. If you haven't seen my documentary yet, it's pretty good. It's on Amazon Prime. I hope you guys watch it and recommend all your friends watch it and give me a rating and review at the end. It's really important for rating and review. So let's see. Where are we? We are January 10th? 11th. We are January 11th. So I missed you guys last week for New Year's week. This idiot had to leave town. How long were you gone for?
5 days.
5 days. He tells me at the last second, I gotta go to Idaho. Yeah, he had to drive his Cadillac back. What kind of Cadillac you got again?
67 Coupe de Ville.
67 Coupe de Ville. It's sitting in my driveway right now. So he had to drive. He had to go to Idaho, get his 67 Coupe de Ville. Oh, you bought my documentary. Thank you. Yeah, for all you guys out there, don't rent it. Buy it. Even better. It means a lot to me. And so it's this guy's fault that we didn't have a podcast last week. So I blame him. Yeah, so it's his fault we didn't have a podcast last week. Anyways, what's amazing is if you listen to the We Win podcast with me and Phil and everybody, my pick of the week was the Ravens, and I somehow found 2,000 on the Pittsburgh Steelers. My pick of the week, and I bet against it because I've been running so cold, and of course they win with no problem. But I guess so stupid. And my second best pick of the week is the Denver Broncos. And so that's who I like tomorrow. I like the big favorites this week. I liked the Bills and I liked the Ravens. God, fucking Pittsburgh is so bad. My God, they're so bad. Let's see. We also, what else do we have tomorrow? We have the Packers and the Eagles. I could never, ever, ever take the Packers. And Commanders and the Bucks. I like Washington plus the 3. But what do I know? I never pick a winner, so don't listen to me. That's why I gave up sports betting. Yeah, there you go. I like that one, Tony. Is Barry going to vote for Gavin Newsom again? Does he live in California? Yeah, keep voting for them Democrats. Really good. They burned down the whole fucking city. They had no water in the fire hydrants. We could talk about that too. No water in the fire hydrants. The reservoir was empty. And yeah, it's really, really interesting that it's really sad. Very, very, very sad. I have friends that have lost everything in LA. It's beyond sickening, actually. The funny part, the sick part about it is, I hate to politicize it, but I heard Biden today talking about how good a job that Newsom's doing, and there's fake news, disinformation is making them think like it's his fault. Well, of course it's his fault and her fault. The fire chief admitted that the government let them down, did not give them the resources. didn't give them the resources. Like, they asked the fire chief, who's to blame? She said, our leadership is to blame. Imagine being the highest taxed state in the country. And during the summer months, you have to lower your air conditioning because you don't have enough power. And during the winter months, they have no water in case the Santa Ana winds whip up. And they burn down half the city. How sick is that? Gross. Don't even want to talk about it. Yep. Trump called it on the Joe Rogan podcast. He's been saying it for years about the deforestation. They don't want to do it. And now look what they have. And you know what? Now you're going to see a political shift in California like you've never seen before. But I don't know if it's enough to change leadership because they have no voter ID laws, so they could just have as many illegals as they want vote or many people as they want vote 10 times, and it doesn't matter. Anyways, it's gross. It's so sick. It makes me want to puke. I'm just so aggravated by it. It's gross. So, I haven't been feeling very well lately. My brain's working well. So my poker game's been pretty decent. But I don't know. I just kind of a little bit. And I just don't know why. A lot of things were bothering me. But now I feel pretty good. I was a little depressed about something that happened in my personal life. And so it got me a little bit down. But now I feel pretty good. I feel up about it now. I feel pretty happy. And hopefully things go well here in the next month. So I was going to go to the inauguration. We had tickets to the inauguration. We had hotel rooms to the inauguration. But the inauguration was going to cost me $12,500. And after going through $40-something thousand at the WPT and Bitcoin dropping from 103 to 91, I haven't looked today. I don't even want to look. And me, even though I only bet 1,000 or 2 on each of these playoff games, like losing like 9 out of 10, I decided to not go. And you put that with with the terrorist attack on New Year's Eve in French Quarters, and you parlay that to what's going on in LA, which I believe is mostly arson. I don't know. Things are really too quiet. I'm very worried about what can happen at the inauguration. I don't know. And all these drones flying around. Just craziness. I don't know. I just decided to. Plus, it's hard for me. It's going to be fucking freezing cold. And then I'm going to have to get my scooter. The batteries might like freeze on the scooter. Who knows, man? But I had invites to all the killer parties, all the top parties with Trump's going to be, the 2 that Trump are going to be at. And I had like VIP, and it would have been fun. But I don't know. I was kind of really down for some things that happened. Now how things are in a positive light. And so things are good. It's like I just hope. Like I am very worried about the inauguration. I mean, I don't like how quiet everything is, and I don't know, man. I hope I'm wrong, man. I don't trust anything. I don't trust anything with these drones. I don't trust anything with with how the Democrats are kumbaya, kumbaya, Trump, Trump, kumbaya. Like, really? These guys have wanted to fucking murder him, kill him, bankrupt him, and jail him for the last 4 years. Now they're kumbayaing. Something that doesn't make sense to me, man. That's when you got to watch out for shit. When the kumbaya is coming, you know. And it's pretty funny. The whole Zuckerberg is now like all in with Trump. Now, is he all in with Trump because he's worried about going to jail for what they did with the censoring in 2020? Or is he actually, I think he's actually seen the light and he realized like how awful they were. And thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed the documentary. And so when you got all the people on the left that were anti-Trump in Zuckerberg and Allan and Chamath and all the guys in the All In podcast, and now they're all pro-Trump. The world, it's not that they're pro-Trump, it's just the Democrats need to rebrand. They're a disaster. Anyways, I don't really want to talk politics. The inauguration, we'll talk about the inauguration like next week, 2 days before. But we can talk about the NFL. We talk poker questions. I did go. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about. Yeah, so I did decide to go to the Poker Go studio and play a Poker Go event, the last one. And I played for 90 minutes. I won one ante. I blinded down at 12 big blinds, and I got it in with King Queen versus Jacks, and I walked out the door. And I won a total of one ante in 90 minutes. You parlay that with what I did at the WPT, and listen, the cards aren't going my way right now. And a lot of things have been going against me, and I know why. Listen, you got to live right. You got to do things right. I stayed home for like 17 weeks and just kind of did the NFL and just didn't do anything with my life. And I didn't start betting big or anything, but I started like betting more than a couple games a week. And it's a sickness. And I kind of like, I didn't, maybe I lost 15, 20,000, but I'm just like, it's just, I have to change my life. You can't do that. I can't fall back into negativity and things that are toxic to me. So, just need to start playing poker as much as I can, as much as I'm allowed to play, and then get positive things out of it. Be around positive people. Be around people who have a positive outlook. Things that make you happy, that don't take you down. Excuse me, guys. Somehow my fucking, there you go. And I'm really hyped about the documentary. It's doing well. I want it to do better. I really want it to go. I really want to, go in as many podcasts as I can. I've got 2 more interviews coming up this week, and I really, I need to get it, as many people as I can to watch it and review it, and the more that we'll review it and rate it, the more that Amazon will move it towards the front. So, that's what we're kind of working on. So,
what about other countries, Mikey?
Yeah, well, right now we have it it's in UK. I have a link for Amazon UK. And then Frank is going to the Cannes Film Festival in March, I think. It could be February. And so we could bring it, distribute it there. So I'm still pretty, everybody's watched it, really been happy. And and that's all that matters. So I'm glad you guys. I hope you guys enjoy it, and did enjoy it. So, alrighty. Well, we want to take some phone calls. Let's do it.
The Mouthpiece.
If you'd like to take part in our phone call segment, you can give us a call at 702-329-0480. And if you're a snowflake or a pussy and you don't want to talk to me, you can email me at mouthpiecepodcast@gmail.com. Also, follow me at the Mouth Matiso on Twitter for times that our call-in segment will be live.
702-329-0480. Give us a call. Talk some poker. Talk some tournament poker. We'll talk some football. We'll talk politics, but that's at the bottom of my list. And let me know how you're all doing. 702-329-0480. The Chargers were so bad today. My God. And I thought all year they weren't that good. They were 2-5 against winning teams, but I thought Houston was really bad also. So I can't even believe. I mean, what Houston did to them today. And like I said, the Ravens, like I thought they could. They were like free money. So somehow I bet the other side. Anyways, yeah, that's what I do. That's what I've always done. That's what happens when you're not focused, and you need to focus on life. You need to focus on your own life, my personal life, my poker game, and not get involved with the sports bullshit. And so when I do the wrong things, bad things happen. And you know, that's kind of what kind of happened lately. So, you know, I'm pretty happy though. I mean, my psychiatrist upped my meds, so my focus has been pretty good. And my Vyvanse, I was originally taking like 30. I'm up to like 50 on the Vyvanse, and so my focus has been really good in the poker. My happiness has been up and down. I let little things bother me. You know, I was really hoping, and listen, it still could happen, but I was really hoping a few people would, you know, really retweet the documentary. I could get it to go viral, and I could get a lot of the world to see it, not just the poker world. And you know, it hasn't happened yet, but I'm not saying it won't. Yeah, and so you know, that's kind of you know, why I kind of got me a little bit down a little bit, but and I let little things bother me, like things that, you know, wouldn't even bother the regular person. But welcome to the Mouthpieces, Mike.
Hi, Mike. How are you?
Good. How are you doing? Who's this?
I'm good. I have mostly poker questions.
Sure.
And online poker, to be specific.
Okay.
Okay. I want to take you back to your time when you were with Full Tilt and playing at Full Tilt.
Okay. What's your name?
Justin.
Justin. Okay.
When you had losing sessions online, when you were playing during those sessions back then, did you ever suspect that the software or the shuffle may have not been legitimate, or there may be something?
I was convinced it was fucking rigged against me at the time. Like,
but you were a part of Team Full Tilt.
Yeah, but I was convinced that it was, like, now I look now and I'm like, no, it couldn't be. But, like, you know, the way I ran online, I was convinced that it was rigged against me. I used to tell people that they make me lose on purpose so they don't have to give me the raise that's owed to me. I used to say that. Like,
Okay, but like, did you or anyone at Full Tilt ever get to see like what was going on behind the scenes to actually see if it was actually legit, or you just?
It was legit. It was legit. You know.
How do you know?
I don't. You know, that's a good question.
Well, then
know?
you can't say for sure that it is.
You're right.
It was.
I can't. You know, it's like a lot of people want to say, "Hey, Patrick and Ivy were the two biggest stars of Team Full Tilt, and they won all the money. And as soon as Full Tilt closed and they played other places, they were no longer crushing anymore." You know, I've heard that story. You know,
but like I was just thinking, like the amount of money, like considering the amount of money, did like you or anyone at Full Tilt like get together and be like, you know what, maybe we should like check to see, like, you know, can we ask like I don't know if you knew the people at Full Tilt. Like,
yeah, I knew everybody. Yeah.
So you never brought that question to them at all?
Not really. I mean, when your company's making $2.5 million a day, I don't believe the software's cheating anybody. You know what I'm saying? It does. That's like
okay.
You see what I'm trying to say? It's like when your company is making infinite, you're talking about like how your software being rigged for peanuts. You see what I'm saying? It would make no sense. It would be.
But did you hear about like what was going on with Absolute Poker with like Pot Ripper? Just like, and he was like streaming like how he was just like showing like he could see everybody's whole cards and just.
But I know all about it. Like you're talking about like Russ Hamilton used to call me to play him head up, and he would crush me, and he beat me out of all my money. So you don't need to tell me about Absolute and Ultimate Bet. I know the whole story. You know.
Well,
I got hurt the most.
Ultimate Bet at that time, right?
What's that?
Phil Hellmuth was at Ultimate Bet during that time.
Yeah, he sure was.
So, and you're good friends with you're good friends with Phil. Did you ever ask him like, hey, did you ever check to see like with your guys? If Phil trusted Russ, like they were good friends, and Greg Pearson was his close friend, and like. But once again, he never actually saw for himself.
I mean, he found out about it. You know, he knew what happened in the cheating scandal, and
okay.
And his buddy Greg Pearson was the one who wrote the software, and you know, it is what it is. Like, but Phil, Phil was like mortified by it. You know.
Yeah. Okay. On to the next question.
Sure.
Black Friday. What was the catalyst that actually triggered that whole event? Like, what was like the actual instance that
what really triggered the event was the stupidity of the people who ran Full Tilt and PokerStars. There was a guy.
I thought it was just Full Tilt Black Friday.
No, it was Full Tilt and PokerStars.
It was PokerStars too?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just Full Tilt.
And what it is they were doing like and Ultimate Bet. It was Ultimate Bet, Full Tilt, PokerStars, and Full Tilt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like they didn't PokerStars was shut down. Everything was shut down in the United States, and so but PokerStars had plenty of money. They stayed open, and Full Tilt was supposed to stay open too. And but what triggered that, you asked, and the real answer is there was a guy that was processing the money for the big poker sites, and he stole like $150 million. And instead of take your loss and go to the next one, they decided they were going to have the FBI prosecute him. Like, really? Like, you're illegally processing money and you're going after the guy that stole the $150 million? And so of course he went and sung to the FBI. And
so why was Howard and Chris blamed for why were they the face of like the problem?
Well, no, they were the face of what, unfortunately, of why there was no money in the accounts. But
I thought you just said it was because of this guy. who stole the money.
No, you asked what triggered Black Friday, and
right, yeah.
And what triggered it is like the guy who was doing the processing going to the FBI and telling everybody how everybody was processing it, and then they shut. And there was a lot. There's way more to it. You know, there's other things too. Harry Reid, real pile of shit senator. That of course he was a Democrat, but he was paid a lot of money from Full Tilt and Poker Stars.
Really? Wow.
To get reelected. To get reelected, he was given and then some other corporation came in and gave him even more, and they threw us under the bus. So in other words, he took their money and our money, and it's a long story, man. It's just there's so much to it.
See, that's why it was kind of vague. So,
it always involves corrupt politicians, and it always involves, now that I've become political, it always involves corrupt Democrat politicians.
I didn't even know politicians even had a hand. I thought it was just the company and nobody else is really involved.
But before, when they had the Unlawful Internet Gaming Act passed, in 2006, right? They
that's when you couldn't play online, right?
No, that's when Party Poker pulled out, and and then but when you grease the politicians to make it so they don't come after you, and then
I see, okay.
And so there's a lot to it, these are things that I was told.
Well, it was so weird because a lot of the blame was during that time it was just Chris Ferguson and Howard Lederer, and I was just
no.
Okay, so what they do that was so bad.
The only thing you could blame Chris for is letting a scumbag like Ray Bitar run his company. And
he probably trusted him, and he probably did some I guess that's not really his fault though.
Well, I mean, when your company is making $100,000 a day, you run the company. When your company's making $2.5-3 million a day, you hire a fucking CEO for $5 million a fucking year. Okay, when you have poker players and people that are not business savvy running a massive poker site, you end up with what happened. And I've said it. I'm friends with Chris, and I said till the day I die, what's Chris guilty of? Chris is guilty of letting a fucking moron that he trusted run his site into the ground. And Howard, Howard also trusted him, and listen, when you trust a moron, this is what happens, man. So there's just so much to it. Yeah, so that's that. What else?
All right. Do you still play online poker today?
I do. I do. I play in private games. I play in a private Omaha 8-8 game, and I play in a private No Limit game.
So you don't really use a site; you just use an app or something.
Yeah, and I pretty much play with the same people every day. And so.
Because I don't know if you heard about the famous this kind of got buried pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But did you watch the Doug Polk Martin interview about GG?
That was about a year ago? Yeah, I saw it.
No, it was a few years ago actually.
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay, so
and listen, that's everything he said is pretty much true, I think.
Okay, yeah, no. Okay, so why are people still there? That's what it blows.
It's like and I've said it. GG's the biggest poker site in the world right now. They need to make sure there's nothing going on. They have to get rid of all the fucking things that people are. You know what I'm saying? It's when GG was a nothing company 3 years ago, it's one thing, but now it's so big. I mean, got to keep on the straight and narrow,
but the magnitude of what he was saying was there's like just robberies going on left and right. And what I don't understand is like, okay, so Negreanu's with GG, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so like during the time Black Friday happened, he was like came out with a video saying, "Oh, I have no problem if somebody were to take a bat to Howard Lederer and Chris Ferguson's niece for what they did and blah blah blah." But then this thing came out, and we haven't heard like him talk about it at all.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, like Daniel, afterwards, Daniel gets a little upset. Daniel's a good guy. He's doing everything he can to do the right thing.
No, I'm not saying but I'm just saying like he didn't even like. There's probably it's still going on like for thousands.
Listen, sometimes when things are in the public, the best way to do it is try and fix it out of the public's eye, and I think they've done. I think they've done a pretty good job of doing that. And
for GG,
yeah, and I think is there more to do? Sure, but listen. I know that where Daniel's heart is, and I know he wants everything to be legit. And
well, he wasn't really he's not a part of Bryn Kenny's stable, right? Like Bryn Kenny probably has his own horses and stuff. Like
that's true. And listen, the whole thing about that is
I'm just surprised he didn't say anything. Like
but if you think about
people's money.
if you really think about it, right? You don't say anything. Company gets bigger. It kind of gets wiped under the rug, and you just move forward. And sometimes what's not said is best off. Like, I'll give you I like to use this as a point. When October 7th happened with Israel, right? And Hamas, attacked Israel and despicable shit they did, right? And what happened? What Israel was started losing the online fight. So even though they were winning the war, and a lot of people agreed with Israel, the propaganda for the terrorists were outweighing what Israel could put out to show their point. So what they did is they just basically stopped replying to the Hamas propaganda, and that I thought ended up being a smart thing to do. You know what I'm saying? The more that they commented on it, and Israel did lose the online battle, unfortunately, and I think down the road it's going to be bad for them. But that once they stopped commenting on it, and I think it became better off for them, and I think that's kind of where we look at when you talk about GG and that situation.
Okay, but you're not you don't play on like you said, you just stick to like private games when it comes to.
Yeah, I don't honestly. I've just listen, man. They killed people for $40 fucking at 7-Eleven. You think I fucking trust online poker?
Exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Okay. Like
I just wanted to hear your.
I play in games, with the same people, and if we get any new people in the game, and because I'm a professional and I've watched the games very closely, and if I think something's off, I'll bring it up to the game runner, and we've 3 times we've caught people that we thought, were doing bad things, and they were, because I see it right away. In your games. This happened. Oh wow. Yeah. I mean, because listen, it's real easy for people to try and ghost in certain games, and but I don't play in a rake game. I play with the same people I play with pretty much for years, and
right. So there's no house really.
Right, and so but I can easily know. I see right away when something's off. Like when you play with the same people every single day, right? And all of a sudden, the guy that's that's fucking just calling and never four betting and calling out of position, and the next thing you know, he's four betting kings and then check calling the queen high board, and you're like, what's going on here? Like this guy's playing perfect poker all of a sudden. I mean, you just see it, exactly. And that same person lost 160,000 straights on a 400K upswing, and it's like, but you just see it. Like I see everything because I've been doing this for 28 years. So, but
okay, I just have one more question.
Sure.
I know you. I don't want you to cut me off before I
Sure.
I need to get this question in.
Sure.
Could you? Is there like a group of poker players right now, like you included, that or Phil and with Phil Hellmuth and like maybe a few others that are capable of like maybe starting a legitimate online poker platform that's like completely legit and like completely.
Well, that's a good question.
Like the public and stuff.
So Phil is, I can't really talk about it, but he's on the cusp of signing with a big online site. But
so it's like it's unknown right now.
Yeah, and me, I'm in talks with one site, but we'll see how that goes here in the next month.
Okay.
But like as far as like starting our own, it just would be, you'd have to get it, legal. I mean, we can't go overseas. You know what I'm saying? So it would have to get legalized in the United States. But
right. Okay. I see. I also have one more question. When I asked you this actually last time with the big blind ante, you said that like it was a good thing because of the amount. It saves so much time.
Yeah.
And was that the only reason it was implemented? And also, did they actually ask the professionals like you, LeBron?
Yeah. We felt that. Listen, everybody would forget to ante. Like me including. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it became the same thing. Now, do I believe, and I've always thought this, that the big blind ante is great, but when you're down to five-handed at the final table, would I like to see, because now you're paying like almost double the ante. You see what I'm trying to say? Because you're playing the big blind. So when it's eight-handed, a big blind ante plays for 8 people. When it's short-handed, I think there shouldn't be a big blind ante once you're down.
So you think you should go back to the old rules with the,
I think
with
that everybody. I just don't think, because now the ante's twice the size of what the ante would be when it's like four-handed. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I think that, but it all equals out, I guess. You know what I mean? I don't even understand why they put big blind ante in PLO events.
So that's in PLO too. Wow.
They put it.
Yeah, but it just makes it easier to defend. Like most players are just going to defend. It makes it more defendable from the big blind. Like people aren't going to be folding more.
Well, that's why you're supposed to open 2.7, 2.8x against the people who defend, because now they're being priced out to defend. So.
Oh, okay. So I guess that's the alternative. Okay.
Yeah, like if I know the guy's defending, if I'm opening his blind, I'm opening 3x. Like that's what I do.
So going back to like the old, that was like, 3x, 4x is kind of like the old way.
And if you watch some of the pros, like when they get a lot of chips, like they open 3, 4x on people's blinds. I watch a little bit of it. And
actually, there was this guy who won the Triton. He was like an older guy. I think they call him Gambledore or something. It was actually nice to see a guy like that win. He won like a pretty big event this year at Triton, but he was like not about this GTO, stuff. Like he's not like walking around with like some computer telling him what to do. Like he was like playing that old school style, just raising like 3, 4x. It was nice to see, kind of. Even though I'm pretty sure he wasn't like the best player at that final table or by a long shot, but
I saw he was like insane. He was terrible. Hey, I gotta take another call, man. But I appreciate the call. Have a great weekend.
Yeah. I appreciate it. Thanks for answering my
welcome.
question. I appreciate
Take
it.
care.
Man. You take care.
Yep. That's 702-329-0480. It was a little bit of a long call. He had a lot of questions, but I have no problems answering them. Two Fish Table Podcast, thank you for reviewing my documentary.
Hello.
Hey, welcome to Mouthpiece. This is Mike.
Mikey, what's up? Gypsy Frank, how's it going?
Hey, what's up, buddy? How are you?
I am well, sir. Same old crap, just grinding a little bit online, seeing you went live, figured I'd call, say what's up, and talk a little bit about the documentary.
Nice. So, what's your take, bro? Do you like it?
Yeah, so after I hung up last week, I guess that was last week, or whenever
the week
it
before,
drops, I checked it out, and I liked it. It was cool, man.
Cool.
Interesting. To be completely honest with you, with all due respect, of course, as well, I had no idea to the extent of your injury. I always assumed, with no offense, that you were kind of overselling it because it seemed that you were always functional.
Yeah.
And it was never really, mainstream. And then seeing you in physical therapy and shit, I'm like, wow, this dude really did suffer.
Yeah, it was really bad. And it still is. If I walk too much, the pain is debilitating. So, the World Series, being able to have a room there now and then jump right on my, the only place I walk is to take a shower. Then I, hook my chair up to my scooter. And if I don't have to get up and down much and I don't have to walk much, I'm out of pain. Like when I sit in this chair here, it's one of the reasons why I don't stream anymore. Lately my back's been good and I haven't been in much pain. But for a while when I was streaming, right where my injury is, just by using the mouse, it would cause inflammation and the pain would be so bad. If up to me, I'd love to stream for everybody every day. But it's just hard.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
But
let's see how things went with it. What was the feedback from the general public and stuff? Did it ratings and shit?
Yeah, I mean everybody seems to like it. I'm trying to get as many people as I can to talk about it and get the word out. It's going to be in like 2 or 3 magazines here next week. We're hopefully getting an article in Variety magazine, which will be good.
Yeah, that would be really good.
And my my producer is taking it to the Cannes Film Festival. So we'll see how it goes. I'm just hoping. Listen, I made the documentary because I wanted the poker world to understand that. How many people come up to me and say, "How's your back?" Well, my back's fine. I have a spinal cord injury. And so it's I kind of wanted people to understand what I've been through. It's you guys don't have any idea, and so I don't want people feeling sorry for me, but I want people to understand that when I go to the World Series every year and I compete for 3 straight days, making final tables and grinding, I'm doing it in debilitating fucking pain. You know what I'm saying? And so, it's just what it is, And, when it bothers me when people want to say that I can't play poker anymore because it can't be any farther from the fucking truth,
I hear you.
I
appreciated the authenticity too, showing your mother and brother in it and stuff, and the raw takes of their opinions on shit and stuff.
Yeah, listen, my mother and me used to be very close, and my brother and me never got along, but we're getting along better now, and it's kind of a shame that I moved 5 minutes away from them because they made excuses that I lived too far, so they couldn't come see me before, and and they know what I deal with, and so it is what it is. It's I don't want people to feel sorry for me because I live life great, and I can't complain. And when I need to go places, I do what I need to do. But it is hard for me to just go down to the Poker Go studio like I went this week, and they dropped me off at the bottom of the stairs at the Waldorf, so I walked up the stairs because that's the closest way to get to the Poker Go studio, and I played for 90 minutes, anteed off, won one ante, and came home, and then I was in terrible pain the next day. So, it's just the bottom line is what I need to do is I need to buy me a scooter, hook it to the back of a car, get up every day, start playing live, and just have a scooter wherever I go. You know what I'm saying? But
you still got the BMW now, or what are you driving now?
I actually don't have any car right now. So, but they
make those fucking little stands that you put into, it inserts in the back of a hitch and like as a receiver.
Yeah. And
you could load your scooter on it. Pretty convenient.
Yeah. So, I know what I need to do, but and I've been thinking a lot, like I need to start getting out of the house. It's easy to just play online. And the people I play with are wonderful people, and I enjoy playing with them, and it makes me happy, and they make me laugh, and kind of gave me my life back. But I also know that I'm 56, I'm single, I need to find somebody to settle down with. Like, they ain't gonna come walk into my house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
So
I'm sure being a little bit more active would probably help you physically.
I take these meals every day. I'm down to like 211. The goal is to be about 197, 198 by the World Series, and that's what I'm going to do the next 3 months. Is just eat good and just keep eating good, lose some weight, and try and better myself. I've been making a few mistakes lately, and I need to fix that. So,
You're 56. I'm 33, and as I've gotten older, I look back and wish I could have made a few different decisions, obviously, and one of the biggest things was taking care of myself, at an earlier age, drinking, shit like that at younger ages, now taking a toll on my body, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Diet, exercise, stuff like that, but, there's always room to improve.
Yeah. Always
never
room
too late.
I agree. There's always room to improve, and what happens to me is I get in ruts, and then I get depressed, and then I do things I shouldn't do, and I know right now that I don't. I got it all together. Look what I found. I found a Mookie. My little boy. He's so cute.
Which is something, honestly, I have to compliment you on, because I'm a father of 3, and, I've been married almost 16 years. In our culture, we marry super young.
Right.
And I have a ton of fucking responsibility. Being single and not having children and stuff, going through the ups and downs that you have, I'd have been a fucking, I don't know, I'd probably be living underground Vegas somewhere in the fucking tunnels.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, you've got to set goals for yourself, and so hopefully I'll get things fixed this year. I was doing really good, and I'm not gonna lie, I fell into a little bit of a rut where I'm like, oh, the football's coming up, I'll just have some fun with that, bet 2 games a week for $1,000 and just enjoy myself, watch football, play online. And that was like the wrong thing to do. Because I've left my house 8 times in 5 months. That's just ridiculous, 10 times maybe. So I know what I need to do. I know exactly how to fix it. And I'm starting next week. I'm going to, so.
So the guy in the documentary with the longer beard, is that Danny, your editor,
Yeah, yeah.
the guy that helps with
I don't look like that anymore.
He doesn't look like that anymore. He shaved his beard and cut his hair.
And lost.
And he lost like 30 pounds when he quit drinking. Yeah, but he's doing good.
How's poker been going?
I just started playing again this week. I played the 10K 3 days ago. Phil put up 7,500 to 2,500 and gave me 50%. Talked me into going, so I went.
Where was this at?
The Poker Go studio, and I won my normal 0 pots. I mean, like, I never win a pot. It's like, oh, Mike, I never make a hand. It's tough to win a pot.
Was it a larger 10K, like big field, or a big guarantee?
It was the same that they get every day, like 120 at the Poker Go studio. You know, the same one that like Jeremy Osmus wins every day. You know,
nice.
He runs pretty good. I was watching the last hand of the $1 million free roll, and I knew he was going to call, because like the thing is when Nick Schulman moves, the worst card in the deck rolls off, the pair's bottom pair, right? And he just can't move in on that card. Like, he either has a 7 or he has nothing. Like, he's just going to check back because you know, Jeremy has like all the 7/8s. Jeremy has like all the hands. Like, so I said to myself, like, when the board paired 7s, I'm like, if he goes for it, he's getting called. And Jeremy called him, and it was a good call, and I thought he was getting called. So
I don't watch it, to be honest with you.
I just happen to turn it on. I don't watch it that often.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't know.
I watch it if like Daniel's on or Phil's on or I just don't watch poker. But like my friends are on, you know, I'll watch it. I just happen to turn on, and like Nick Schulman's been really on a run lately, and so like he's a good friend of mine. So is Jeremy also.
He's a solid. I don't know him personally, but I grew up in the pool world. And he was a really good pool player before poker.
Yeah, he still is.
As far as pool goes in poker combos, him and John Hennigan are probably the two best, you know, pool poker players.
Absolutely.
Josh Ari is up there as well.
Yeah, he's not anywhere in Nick or
no, he plays a considerable amount under them.
Yeah. So, all right, buddy. Well, good talking to you. I appreciate the call.
You as well.
Have a good weekend, and keep grinding.
Likewise. I'll talk to you, somebody.
You got it. Later. All right, 702-329-0480. Give us a call. Mookie's back. Look at this little cute guy. Can you imagine a kitty this cute? Mookie, stop it. My little kitten. What up? Welcome to the Mouthpieces, Mike.
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Which caller is this now?
I don't know. This is Mike. What's your name?
Oh, my name's Allan, Mike.
Oh, hi,
I'm a
Allan.
big fan of yours. Are we on a delay?
Yeah. Lower the volume.
Oh, my God, I'm so sorry.
No problem.
I wanted to ask you a question about Mickey Mays. He's corrupting my grandson into thinking he can beat Baccarat. Can you please tell the viewers he's a piece of shit?
Who?
Mickey Mays. He played on the Hustler stream.
Oh, I've heard about this guy. I've never really seen him.
He's a real piece of shit. He's corrupted my grandson.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, you know. No, you can't beat Baccarat.
Yeah, okay, well, hey, I also wanted to tell you one thing, if it's all right.
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, you're a big piece.
Okay. 702-329-0480. We can find them. They come out of the woodwork, I'll tell you. They come out of the woodwork. 702-329-0480. talk sports scandal? No.
Hello, Mike.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, brother, this is Tom, man. How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, Tom?
Hey, man, just calling in, listening to your show. I have a question, man. Yeah, in high-stakes poker with, like, Corey Zeidman, that guy is... he got arrested, and they're going to sentence him for some sports bet stuff.
He's going to go to jail for like 20 years. He took a plea deal. Listen, this is all I have to say about Corey Zeidman. I always got along with him. He was a terrible poker player that always showed up with infinite amount of money and would lose, and we never knew where he got it from.
Six fish.
And now we know where he got it from. You know, I feel bad because he's a nice guy, you know. I mean, the extent of what he did is, I mean, pretty bad, like really bad. You know, where he had to take a plea
Well, he
deal.
claimed that, you know, well, not he pledged.
Originally, he said, I'm going to clear my name. I didn't do anything.
Yeah, he was really adamant about that.
Yeah, and then he took a plea deal and pleaded guilty to all of it. Like all of it.
He faces maximum sentence of 20 years in federal prison.
Well, I
he has to pay
presume...
$3.6 million in restitution.
I believe...
You know, that's the potential, obviously.
Yeah, I think if he took a plea deal, he's probably going to get 5 instead of 20, maybe 4. But it's federal. You don't get out in 2.
There's no parole.
No parole. Right. So that's you know, like when I got set up, right, I took a plea deal for 6 months, right?
He did 6 months flat, right?
Yeah. And so I presume that he made a deal, pleaded guilty, and they're probably, you know, they always say 20. That's the max. You know, you don't get that. You know,
sure.
I would probably think he gets 4. You know, and I saw the $3.6 million in restitution, and I mean, listen, you ain't pleading guilty if they don't have the goods on you.
Sure.
I mean, the only reason why...
What I don't understand is, I mean, I don't know, because here's what I don't understand, okay? Like, they're saying, like, he was, you know, baiting people with false claims and, you know, getting, like, oh, if you pay me $100 or whatever, you know, I'll tell you which team's going to win or whatever. You know, I see that shit all the time.
There's way more to it than that. Like,
yeah, for sure.
I heard he was running like an underground casino, you know?
Oh, he had an underground casino?
I mean, that's what I heard. And then, like...
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea what happened. I just don't understand it.
Yeah, it's a lot more than, like, just paying somebody for picks. Like,
yeah.
I mean, that's just, like, maybe, like, 1% of what he was arrested for. Like, I haven't read the entire thing he pled guilty to, but I guarantee you if we read it all, there's a lot in there, you know.
Yeah.
And listen, you know, I like Corey. He was a nice guy, you know, and everybody liked him, but you know, we also liked him because he showed up in a poker game and was terrible and just lost. You know, he was a nice guy.
Yeah.
No, I think he was a nice guy. You know, I think I had somebody come on my show, like, ask me to, like, vouch for him, like what a good guy he is, and I got nothing. I always thought he was a really nice guy, you know. But I also used to wonder, where did he get all the money? Like, the guy would just, like, lose infinite and always come up with more.
Wow.
And
yeah, he's the
one thing I learned from when I got set up back in 2004 is if you never do anything illegal, you never have to worry about ever getting in trouble. And,
for sure. That's 100%.
Like, when I drive, I put the fucking cruise control on fucking the speed 5 miles an hour over the speed limit. I mean, just don't do anything illegal. Just fucking live
But
right.
you just said the same thing I do. I put it right in cruise control. I put it right in speed limit. That's what I do too. That's funny you said that.
Yeah. You know, so, yeah, I got nothing bad to say about Corey. I wish him the best, you know, but like he was like, I didn't do it, Mike. I didn't do it. You know, they're setting me up. You know, meanwhile, he pled guilty to all of it. You know, now the only reason why
you never know too, especially like with federal prison, maybe somebody ratted on him or something like that. They you know, they gave him up for some. hey, you let me go. Maybe somebody got caught with drugs. I know this guy Corey Zeidman. He's a massive bookie. He takes all these illegal bets or whatever.
Yeah.
And they can try to get.
He's probably
the next guy up,
running some kind of casino. Then he was a big bookie. Who the fuck? I mean, there's a lot to it. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And listen, he was a nice guy. I never wish bad things on anybody that's a nice guy. It wasn't like, there's so many scumbags in poker I could fucking name.
He's not hurting. He's not. People gambling.
He wasn't a scumbag. I mean, he was a nice guy, man. There's nobody that had anything bad to say about him.
But I don't. The bookie things. It's like people are. Gamblers. Gamblers are going to gamble. You can't. They'll say, "I'll never come to Caesar's Palace again" or some shit. They're going to come. They're going to go somewhere else. They're going to gamble.
Of course.
They say that shit, but they gamble. So it's like, if he wasn't getting the money, it'd be somebody else. Might as well be him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
of course.
That's the whole thing. It's a victimless crime.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah,
victimless crime. I mean, speaking of victimless crime, look what they tried to do to Trump. They made up a crime that didn't exist.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, I mean, I pray he gets the rep. I just want to see I just want to see retribution on the fucking Alvin Bragg,
Jack Smith.
Not Jack Smith. The what's her name?
The one in Georgia.
Fonnie. What's her name? And who's the one that ran on getting Trump in New York? Letitia James. Tish James. I want Tish James to have to go to court and pay all the money she has to
and her house
to legal expenses to keep herself out of jail. That's what I want, because that's what they did to Trump. They didn't want to just bankrupt Trump. They wanted to throw him in jail for the rest of his life and
ruin the country. That would have set a precedent in the country that would have been out of control.
Correct. And so, listen, I don't think there's like Trump wants to get his agenda through, but I do think that the people that helped rig the election in 2020, the people that I think he's going to go for and I think that's one of the reasons why Mark Zuckerberg.
It's justified, though. I think he'll do it tactfully. He's not going to go all out and get.
Yeah, he won't do what the Democrats did.
You know what I mean?
No, never.
He's going to get the head generals. I think he'll do it tactfully. I like that guy Kash Patel. They're going to, and they're Pam Bondi.
I mean, I think Miley should face a court martial. I mean, he went to China.
Oh, Millie. You mean Millie? Yeah, Millie.
He told the Chinese government that he'll tell them what Trump is doing behind their back.
That's treason.
And of course that's treason. And the 50 intel officers that knew that Hunter Biden's laptop wasn't Russian disinformation, all of them, they need to lawyer up. You know what I mean?
They got to face justice.
And listen, there's really not that much retribution that needs to be done. The people that try to destroy the country, the people
to go to jail,
the people that knew they were lying, I don't even think they need to go to jail. They need to be put through what Trump was put through, where they tried to bankrupt him. They tried to bankrupt him.
Now, let me ask you a question. What do you think about someone like Mark Zuckerberg, who's saying, I only did it because Biden told me to do it?
Well, you know what I mean? Okay, so I'm good at reading people. Okay, that's what I'm really good at. And I believe in my heart that Zuckerberg saw the truth the day Trump was almost assassinated in Butler. When he came out the next day and said, wow, that was pretty badass, the guy was shot in the face and he came up and yelled, fight, fight, fight under the American flag. And then he saw how Elon got behind him, right? And how all the other tech reps, like all of Phil's friends, like Chamath and David Sachs and Jason Calacanis and all the people on the All In podcast, and how much Jason Calacanis hated Trump, right?
Oh, he's a massive Trump hater,
right? But even he thinks that with Elon behind, because they're really good friends with Elon, that this is going to be different than Trump's first term. And I think it's going to be totally different. And I think that Trump almost getting killed, I think that he truly did find God. I think that he used to lie, like he was a big believer in God. But when they told him he was 99.8% to be dead, and he survived, and he believed he survived to save the country, and he's just different. I mean, if you follow Trump, you know he's different. He's not bragging as much. He's always talking about is what he's going to do for the American people. You know, it used to be me. Only I could fix it.
Go. He doesn't hold on to things.
Have you noticed? Like, do you remember in the first term when he first got elected? Only I could fix it. Only me. Yeah. Only I could fix it. He doesn't ever talk like that now. It's now we are going to change this country. We are going to help the American people. You know, and many people on the left, like even Bill Maher, who hates Trump, thinks he's the biggest idiot that ever walked the earth. If you listen to him the other day, he said,
I watched it on YouTube. Yeah,
and he said, you know, I'm very optimistic that.
I think he said I'm not going to pre-hate or something.
Yeah, I'm not going to hate. I'm not going to hold grudges. I'm very optimistic that things are going to do well. Look at Fetterman. This guy was like a far leftist running for senator after he had a stroke. And now, his brain has come back from the stroke, and now he's the first Democrat senator to go visit Mar-a-Lago in 8 years, whatever. And look what he said. He says, "I'm a senator for all of Pennsylvania, not just the Democrats." You know, he goes, so of course I'm going to go talk to him and listen to him, right? And
plus, you know, he wants to keep his job still. I'm not saying he's a weasel or nothing. I'm just saying, but that also,
plays into it. If you're a senator, let's just say you're a Democrat senator of a state that Trump won, okay? Mm-hmm. You should go. Yeah. I mean, that makes you look good. And you know what? The country needs to fucking heal. You know, you can't have the fucking division. You can't have get Trump at all costs. You know, you can't. I mean, everything Trump has ever said, I hate to say it, but it's all been correct. I mean, like, he fucking was preaching about the fires and what could happen in California and what they're doing. And now it's come to fruition, you know? Mm-hmm. And it's like Gavin Newsom and the mayor, they're going to have to step down. Like, this is like political earthquake. This is like, they burned down the whole fucking city of LA. I mean, there's no water in the fire hydrants. I mean,
yeah, I saw your tweet.
you saw the lady, like, you know, I don't want to say, well, DEI hire or whatever. Okay, who cares who they, whatever.
Some of the mayor, you mean, what's her name?
But the Kristen whatever, the head of the fire department came out and blamed.
She's LGBTQ.
Yeah, but she came out and blamed the government of California.
Yep.
She blamed Gavin Newsom. She blamed Bass for not giving them what they needed to fight the fires. So, like, when the LGBTQ that are running the fire department come out and said, "Fuck you, motherfuckers! You cost people their homes." That's saying something. And like that one lady running up to Gavin Newsom when he made the fake phone call with Biden. Oh, I'm on the phone with him now. Well, let me see you talk to him. Oh, there's no cell service. Which, listen, there was again. They had a lot of the cell service.
No, I missed that. He was he faked a call.
Yeah, he faked a call with Biden, and like and there's no cell service now. We know the cell service is down, but like the one lady that came on said, she's like, you could just get in a fucking truck with a satellite cell phone service. You know, like how you don't have a satellite truck with make sure your phone's working. You know,
Starlink, baby.
It's so like I can't even begin to tell you. Okay, we have more callers in the queue. That's new.
They can't hear that. Only you can.
Oh, I can hear that? Okay. Anyways, so I have some other callers that were calling in.
Sure, man. Well, it was great talking, man. We
but
talked for a
listen,
while,
man, this, like California's been a one-party state for 20 years.
Yeah.
Like Adam Carolla said, if you listen to his interview.
Oh, I listened. I know. Yeah, he grew up in LA.
Dude, he said straight out, this is going all these places that burned down is 80% bright blue voters. This is going to be a political earthquake.
Same thing in Chicago too. That's why let me go. Same thing in Chicago. They're all turning against Democrat there.
Only 4%. He only lost Illinois by 4%. Think about it.
Yeah.
All right, my man.
Big time.
Take care. Thanks for calling.
Hey, have a great night, Mike.
You too,
buddy.
Care, Later. All right.
Dude, you got a lot of callers.
A lot of callers? All right. Well, I have nothing else to do tonight besides play poker. We can go till 10 o'clock.
Hello.
Welcome to the Mouthpiece. This is Mike.
Mike, this is Brandon from Seattle, man. How are you?
Good, buddy. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Hey, I got a off topic real quick. I'm coming to Vegas for a couple weeks at the end of January.
Okay.
I need some poker tournaments to play in, man, that are like around the $200 to like $500 mark. Do you got any recommendations?
I don't play the small events, but I think the Win runs like a 400 every day.
Okay.
And Orleans and what other place runs? There's lots of them. Yeah.
It seems like every time I get an update, man, they're like taking out poker rooms down there. You know?
Actually, poker's it's different actually now. Like they're like expanding. Like the Venetian opened a new room, and they have daily tournaments there.
That's good to hear. I mean, that's awesome to hear, man. Because like I said, every time it seems like I looked up an update down there, it's like I think the newest one they took out was like at the Sahara, and that was like one of their best small daily tournaments. I play small, man. I'm not a pro by any means, but 100, 200 up to like $500 buy-in. That's kind of my sweet spot,
Yeah, and you could go to is it Poker Atlas or and just you can see or Bravo Poker, and they talk about they'll tell you what tournaments at what casinos every day. So Bravo Poker and Poker Atlas.
I wish they'd tell you like how many people they got though. You know what I mean? Because it's like I hate showing up and there's only like 2 tables. That kind of.
Most it depends.
Whatever.
You don't. You're not going to get like 1,000 people for a $200 daily. Even the Aria daily, like they're like $60, $100 ones. What do they get? Like 5 tables, 6 tables. So like
that's I'm happy with that. That's a good one.
Yeah, the daily Aria, I think they get like 6 tables. So, but that
all right,
that's pretty good too. So yeah.
All right. Hey, sorry to miss you, dude. At that Paradise poker tour, the one that Daniel went. I miss seeing your daily videos, man.
Yeah, I what's it called? Put up. You put up my vlogs for the Win, didn't you, buddy?
Yeah.
Yeah. So my daily vlogs for the Win are up now.
He's talking about Paradise though.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, I didn't go there.
Yeah, but the last vlogs I saw you were from the World Series in Vegas from the last year.
Oh, where we put up the vlogs from the Win. They're all
okay.
Up, so you go take a look at those.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, man. Thanks for calling, man. Have a great weekend.
Hey, you too, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Love you.
All right, thank you.
All right, man. Bye.
All right. All right, 702 329 0480.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, welcome to the Mouthpiece. This is Mike. What's up?
Hey, Mike. It's Pete. How are you?
Hey, what's going on, Pete?
Hey, you signed your book for me at the Rio a while back. It's been a number of years. And
okay.
That was really, really great.
Oh, nice. What else has been going on?
Well, I've been on quite a run in sports betting. I'm up pretty good the last few months. And I normally bet money line.
Well, of course you're up. Of course you're up.
Everybody. Notre Dame is going to win. Beat Ohio State.
You think so?
I think it's just a great value bet. Like you could get 3-1 on your money. I really do.
Really? I don't think they have any chance. But what do I know? I lose every game.
I think Notre Dame's going to win.
Do you really?
They're a magical team. They've been on quite a run. Ohio State's good, but for the money line value,
Yeah, I mean, if you, I mean, it depends. I think Ohio State's just. I mean, they played the best defense, and Texas gave the game away, and I mean, the Ohio State's got a great defense, and I mean, they've been the best defense all year. I just don't. I don't think Notre Dame's in their class. I mean, the coach gave away the game for Penn State.
Yeah.
Right? And Ohio State kicked the shit out of Penn State.
You're right.
They kicked the shit out of Penn State. So,
but, I normally bet $1,000 on a game. I'm thinking about $4,000 on the money line. I think you can get.
I mean, I don't know, man. Well, you know more than me. I lose every bet. I had Texas +6. I had Texas +6. I had first and goal at the 1. I mean, I never had a chance.
I know. I watched it.
And then I had I had under in the second half of the Charger game today. It was 3-0 in the second half, under 20.5, with 30 seconds to go in the quarter, and he throws a pick 6, then a pick 3.
I watched, yeah.
And then a 3rd and 26 bomb, and then block 2-point conversion, block conversion 2 points the other way, and it was game, set, and match for me. So.
Yeah. Well, I think the Spartans lead Ohio by 9 or 10 or something.
What's that? Which is that?
I think Ohio is favored by 9 or 10.
Yeah,
and I think Notre Dame with those points. I think that's a great bet. But I keep on repeating myself. I really think Notre Dame's going to win.
I mean, maybe you're right. I don't.
Put $1,000 on the money line. I'm going to put a little more than that.
I mean, I don't think that. I honestly don't think they're in the same league as.
I think Notre Dame beat the Wolverines.
I mean, you know what? You might be right. You know why you might be right? You know why you.
Notre Dame's on a run. They're just.
You know why you might be right? I'll tell you why you might be right. Notre Dame is 7-0 against ranked teams. That's the most ranked teams any team has beaten going to the title game since 1983.
Right.
I mean, that's a pretty big stat right there,
Notre Dame's got some studs. They can pound you. I know Ohio State's great, but for value, line value.
I mean, you watched the Notre Dame Penn State game, right? I mean, Penn State was miles the best team, right? And
Notre Dame won.
Yeah, they won because fucking the coach for Penn State is a complete retard. I mean, what is he doing? Like being that aggressive and throwing the ball over the middle with 30 seconds to go in the game, you know.
I know.
I know. They shouldn't even have been in the game. They had complete control of the fucking game, and then they let them back in it, and then, it's like.
I just think Ohio State's going to make some mistakes, and I think Notre Dame. I don't know. I said it again. Notre Dame's going to win.
Hey, you might
Notre
be
Dame
right.
Be like +200 maybe, but you could probably get +3 on the money line. I mean, it's a great value.
Maybe you might be right. You might be right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Notre Dame's going to win.
I mean, you might be right. I mean, I'm not right about anything. So
I know. I watch it.
But
most of your shows.
I'll talk to some sharp people. I mean, you'll know if that line moves to like 10.5 before game time.
Yeah, we got more than a week.
Then you more than a week. Then I don't like your side because that's sharp money that I'm be moving that line. They put it at 9.5 to let the fucking public bet it up to 10. If that thing goes through 10, that's sharp money. Like today, I knew that the Chargers were the square play. 80, like all the squares were on it. The line opened 3, got bet to 2.5, and every fucking square bet the Chargers, including me. But the sharp money was on Houston. That's why I switched sides. That's why I switched sides on the Raven game, because the line went from 9.5 to 9, and every square I knew was on the Ravens. And
I just like underdog money line value bets. Getting 4-1 or over 3-1 with Notre Dame. Notre Dame's a really good team.
Yeah, maybe you're right. This I could tell you about.
You're going to remember this call.
Listen, this I could tell. This is all I could tell you about Notre Dame. Is I had fucking USC plus 7.5 against them. They were down 7. USC with the ball with 1.5 to go at the 8-yard line, and he throws a pick fucking 6. And now they're down by 14. Then USC gets it back down to the 8-yard line again. And I'm down 14. Yeah. If I score, they lose by 7. I still cover. And he throws another fucking pick. And I watched that game, and I'm like, and I know USC was the better team that game. And not only did they not lose, they didn't get it close to. They lose by 21. Or no, that came back down and scored. They lose by 14. But again, I know that didn't Penn State lose to Ohio State like 31, like big? Didn't they lose like really big? I got to look that up.
Yeah. And then in the pros, I like the Lions. I don't know, but I'm not sure about it. I don't know what's going to happen. They're probably going to let Mahomes win another one. It's probably going to be the Chiefs, but I like the Lions.
Mahomes was. You know how lucky the fucking that this fucking Kansas City team has been. I mean, 2 years ago they were going to be beat by the Bengals. All the coach has to do with the Bengals is not punt it to the guy. If he just punts the ball out of bounds, they lose. Or if the guy doesn't have a late hit on Mahomes, they lose. They don't even make the Super Bowl. And then last year, if the guy doesn't fucking let the punt hit the guy on his foot that handed Kansas City their only 7 points, that was their only touchdown in regulation. That game, I mean, like on our podcast with Phil and us, the We Win podcast, like I'm arguing with them. They're like, "Oh, Mahomes had 2 touchdowns, 370 yards." I'm like, he got 150 of those yards in the last 2 drives. The drive in overtime for 80 yards, and the drive right before the game ended where they ran out of time, or they might have scored a touchdown where he went 77 yards. That was 157. Other than that, he had like. Right. He had like 190 yards of offense and 0. The only touchdown was the one off the guy's foot. Like Frisco's defense dominated that game.
Yeah. And I don't know. I'm rooting.
Listen,
for the Bills.
If Detroit's healthy, if Detroit was healthy,
let's make some money on Notre Dame.
All right. I mean, I never pick a winner. I'll listen. Listen, if Detroit was healthy...
Deliver with the points and take Notre Dame on the money line. Yeah. It's a great value.
If Detroit was healthy, Detroit would win the Super Bowl easily. They're by far the best team. But they're missing... Like, they just lost last game 2 more defensive players and a defensive lineman. The defensive lineman totally pulled his hamstring. That guy will not be back. And they lost 2 more backup corners. Now... I heard they're getting three people back, but they're not getting Hutchinson won't be back unless they make the Super Bowl. Their other stud pass rusher, he's also out. I mean, like, I I don't know. I don't know how they shut down. I don't know how Minnesota second and third string back end just shut down Darnold. You know.
Yeah,
but
I know.
That was
all right. I know you have another caller.
All right, yeah, gotta go. All right, my man.
Fighting Irish.
You got it.
All the way.
All right. Take care. See you next week. Later.
All right.
All right. 702-329-0480.
Hello.
Yo, welcome to Mouthpiece. This is Mike.
Hey, Big Mike. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. So, Mike, yeah, been a few weeks since I talked to you. I tuned in today, but I thought I don't know if you mentioned anything about the Carter funeral.
No. Oh, yeah. You know, that was pretty funny. I didn't mention anything about it, but that was a pretty funny thing with him and Obama laughing it up, huh?
Well, yeah, it was interesting. Of course, Trump's a talker and he's a charmer.
He's a funny guy.
Yeah, the media
he makes everybody laugh.
Quite a bit of them talking and getting along. I noticed Michelle, of course, wasn't going to come there because she's a nutcase. I'm glad she didn't come. But the couple that got me more than any other was Kamala and Dougie. I mean, man, they look like they hate each other.
Dude, he's gay and she's a lesbian. What do you want? Like, I mean, that's a fact. That's a fact.
That could cause marital problems every time. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they like he was fucking like when she got called to like be president, like he was like in a gay bathhouse with his buddies. I mean,
well, that, and of course I know you remember, you know, the guy's gay/bi. He, you know, they said he was banging one of the campaign staffers when she was running.
I mean,
you know,
listen, like, I mean, there's some really funny memes out there. Like somebody sent me one today. It was so funny where like she turns around and starts screaming at Obama when talking to Trump. There's some funny shit out there. The memes are so funny. Listen, they could. The one thing I'll always say, and all my Democrat friends that have a brain, no offense to a lot of you that are my friends that, you know, no offense, but like they were really perturbed by the fact that they knew, like we all knew Biden was brain dead. I've only been saying it for 4 years. And they knew it, and they insisted that he's going to be their nominee when they knew all along that she was always going to be the nominee. And they knew that she could never win a primary because she's fucking beyond the stupidest person that's ever ran for office. And they tried to fucking run one over on the American people. And so many of my Democrat friends that voted for Trump said one of the biggest reasons was the fact that they talk about democracy and yet they install this fucking woman that couldn't answer a question, you know? And it's so funny, like her political life is done. Like people are saying, will she run again? God, I hope she runs again. Please let her run again. Like she could never win, you know? And
yes, she could never win.
They're like,
she was so handled.
She was horrible. The thing was, you can't take the least popular vice president in American history that was polling at 18% and turn her into the next coming of Obama, which they tried to do by hiding her for like 6 weeks, 7 weeks. And then once she had to do interviews and people saw how unauthentic she was, like, say what you want about Trump, like, the guy's the most authentic person there is. Like, he tells you everything on his mind. He don't give a fuck, you know?
Yeah, and you know, they had that Sean, I think it's named Sean O'Malley, the president of the Teamsters Union.
Yeah.
And he said he had Bobby Kennedy in when Bobby was still running for president, and they had 16 questions. Bobby answered all 16.
Yeah.
They brought Trump in. Trump answered all 16. Maybe not the answers they wanted, but all 16.
She answered 2,
They brought
right?
Biden in, 5 questions. They pulled him out. They said with Kamala, after the 3rd question, her handlers pushed a note in front of her, in front of him, and said, "Last one."
Yeah.
And he said Kamala got up and then looked him straight in the eye and said, "With or without you, I'm going to win."
Right.
That didn't happen.
Well, and even Brett Baer, right? Like, they pulled her out of that interview too, which was a disaster. Like, when you're not authentic and you fucking lie and you just try keep repeating talking points, the American people don't give a fuck, but they do care about, like, if you're not authentic. They think you're just a lying politician. Like, listen, all politicians are actors, right? They're lawyers and actors. And if you're a bad actor, you're a bad politician. You're not going to win. You know what I'm saying? And, like when you watch, like, the January 6 hearings, or you watch all these hearings on Capitol Hill, all it is political theater. All they are is lawyers that are going up in front of the American people and putting on an acting job. That's it. Like, very few of them are authentic, And
I got to ask you about something else too. I want to pick your brain on this. That I know you've been in Nevada for a long time, but I think in your formative years, you didn't you maybe have some upbringing in California?
Did I what?
Used to live in California, is that right?
I lived in LA my first 10 years of my life.
Yeah, so here's what kills me. LA's on fire.
Yep.
So you've got the Bass, the mayor, is somewhere, was over there somewhere in Africa doing some kind of tour. And anyway, but then you got Gavin Newsom. So Gavin Newsom takes taxpayer money and imports the Mexican fire departments to help him put out the fires instead of taking that money and paying American firefighters to go there. I mean, does this guy, does he ever do anything right?
Listen, it's unfortunate sometimes bad things have to happen for American people to wake up, or different people to wake up, and sometimes it has to be a tragedy, loss of life, whatever. Like, this is a fucking political earthquake to California. Like, there might not be enough fucking illegals and mail-in ballots to save them from not flipping California red, because they want blood, and rightfully so. Like Adam Carolla said, these places that burn down are 80% bright blue voters that feel like they have had their lives taken from them. And the truth of the matter is again, listen to Trump on Joe Rogan. He said he's been talking about the brush and not paying to clear the brush away. He's been talking about the water and the smelt fish that they want to protect, so they don't have a reservoir where the water comes down. They had a record rainfall last year, and they let all the water, instead of going to the reservoir, drain into the ocean. The reservoir they came out yesterday was empty. The fucking they 3 weeks ago there was supposed to be an inspection on the fire extinguishers, and they canceled the inspection, and they were all dry. Like, this is a fucking political earthquake. I mean, this is incompetency at its highest level. Now Anybody with a brain knew that Gavin Newsom is the fucking worst governor in history. Like they were going to recall him a year and a half ago, and somehow they were all worried about their liberal values, and the recall didn't go through. Well, now look what they got. Like Karen Bass, she don't have a fucking. They get elected and they don't care about the people. It's so disgusting, and this is going. Like, there's zero chance that Karen Bass or Governor Newsom can survive this. There's zero. Like, they might as well just wait till the fires are out, and then next week, both of them resign. And Gavin Newsom's fucking glory that he's going to be the next president of the United States, goodbye, Gavin Newsom. It's over. See, like... I know what a bad guy he is, right? And now, again, like, look what this had to happen. Like, this is the ending of him and her's political life. It's over. It's over. As soon as the fires are out, they're both going to resign within the next 2 weeks. They have to. They're going to demand it, And again, like, this was. They were warned. They were warned about these winds. And what did she do? She took off for Ghana anyways for a 17-hour flight that she had to fly 17 hours back. They were warned, like, I can't believe the fire fucking hydrants were fucking dry. Like I said, like, I can't believe it. I can't even believe it. This is the highest tax state in the United States. And during the summer... They make you turn your power. We're going to have your electricity is going to go out. We're not because the grid's overloading. Like, there should be no grid overloading. There should be. They pay a fucking $1.50. They pay a $1.50 extra gas tax. It's disgusting. Anyways, I got another caller. I got to go.
All right.
Have a great
Good
weekend.
talking with you.
You too.
Take care.
Later. Well, we're going to take 2 more calls, maybe 3.
Hello.
Yo, welcome to Mouthpiece. This is Mike.
How you doing, Mike?
What's up?
Hey, having a good time. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm good. Just sucking on my losses for betting on the Steelers today.
Yeah, that shit happens.
Yeah,
I'm a big football fan, and I'm here in the good old Kalamazoo, Michigan, so we're a Lions fan. And, yeah, they're definitely rocking this year.
I mean, if they don't have the injuries, there's nobody would beat them. I mean, they're just...
Yeah, but the funny thing is we seem to keep coming up with players that will fill the spot because they all love the coach, Dan Campbell.
Yeah, but I mean...
Good old Brad Holmes.
I mean,
brought in a great team.
I mean, that's why I had Minnesota last week. It's like I watched them since the injuries happened. They're dead last in every category on defense going into that Minnesota game. And, you can't just keep getting people off the couch to just play defense. And they lost 3 more people last week. Now, I know the defensive lineman that pulled the hamstring, he won't be like that's going to be a big loss for them. What's his name? Zeidman. So that's a big loss for them. The 2 corners that got knocked out, I heard it's not going to be that it doesn't. They should be all right in a few weeks. I know they get 3 of the 7 starters that were out back. But again, like, you play the Eagle. The Eagles have the best defense in football, and
they're looking strong.
And they could run the ball.
The Eagles are really strong. The Bills are strong.
And
the Lions definitely going to have to step it up.
And the Rams. I mean,
right now the only thing they have is heart.
I mean,
you're right. A lot of players are hurt.
Yeah, the Rams.
And,
I mean,
in
week 1, the Rams took it to the very end of the game. And and the Rams had a chance to beat them in the playoffs last year. The Rams. See, I like the Rams versus the Vikings this week. A lot of people like the Sharps really like the Vikings. they're like, oh, that was just one bad game for Darnold. But, like, I don't know, dude. The Rams are rested. Look at the team. Look at Houston, who rested everybody last week. They fucking shellacked the Chargers, right? I mean, I don't know, man. Like, resting people this late in the season, like the Rams rested everyone. And then the Vikings just played a war against Detroit. People are like, well, the line moved from 1 to 2.5. Well, because it's 1.5 for home field. And they lost their home field, the Rams. Like, I'm still shocked that they didn't move the game to Vegas. Because why would they move it to fucking Glendale, Arizona? Makes no sense.
Yeah, that was crazy.
You move it to Vegas.
What about the fans that had to go to the game?
Yeah, I mean, if you move it to Vegas,
is that like a 10, 12-hour drive?
No, it's a 6.5 to Phoenix, and it's 3.5 to Vegas.
That's not too bad. Yeah,
but I mean,
that's crazy.
Yeah, and so like I was shocked, but I don't know, man. I like the Rams, but maybe I'm wrong.
I'm a big Stafford fan, of course, from Detroit, and I'd like to see the Lions play them again because that's always really entertaining game.
A lot of people were wondering, like, with all the fires and all the devastation in L.A., like, would the Chargers really come up fired up? And they looked like they didn't want to be there. Like, the Chargers literally looked like they didn't want to be. They were, that Herbert. That the Chargers had 9 turnovers the entire season, and Herbert had 3 picks and he threw 4 today.
Yeah, but that's got to be tough for them too. It's they're thrown off their what their expected pattern should be, and it's going to screw them over.
Listen,
the fact that they're friends and family and whatnot probably have homes in those areas that are getting burnt out. So that's on the back of their mind.
Yeah.
That whole situation is absolutely fucking incredible.
It's insane.
And unfortunately, it was preventable.
It was totally preventable.
Completely preventable.
Completely preventable. If they cleared the brushes, the brush, and they did control burns, like Trump's been saying for 8 years, and they had water, those people's houses would be up today. And now it's like, the media's covered for them motherfuckers. For now, the media's come knives out for fucking Newsom and Bass. So they aren't going to survive. And it's going to be this is a political awakening. This is really
that's just the fact that they ran out of water, just like they did in Maui and Lahaina.
Yeah, exact same thing.
It's too many coincidences. And I'm not a big conspiracy theory guy, but shit's not adding up. You know what I mean?
Nope. And I said before the inauguration, there's going to be a lot of bad things happen. We had the New Year's Eve shit in New Orleans. Then 5 days later, they burned down L.A. What's next going to happen? I don't believe that they don't know what those drones are for, and I'm worried about like a drone attack at the inauguration. I really am. Who knows? I don't trust anything, man.
Well, the drones are. That's a whole other story there.
I've seen some videos of like listen, I don't believe that 6 fucking fires just lit up, and I believe the first 2. I believe the Palisades one and the Altian one, but I think the last 4 I think were all arson. I really do.
Did you see some of the videos of the alien craft come in?
Yeah.
Or the fires? That was pretty cool.
I mean, I saw.
And there's no doubt about that. But a lot of the alien craft is, it's really not alien. It's ours.
No shit.
We've had anti-gravity technology since the 60s.
No shit.
No doubt about it. Yeah, TR3B and whatnot, and and a lot of the drones are ours, but there's a lot of them. You got to realize too that all the smart people, they live within the earth. Us retards, we live on the outside of the earth.
Yep. I've been saying that for
about every
been telling people that forever.
1,000 years or so. We all get destroyed out here. We're those that were smart enough to go inside the earth.
Listen, all you got to do is look at,
and their technology continues. And we have to start all over.
All you have to do is look at the pyramids. Like, they had pictures of all these alien people. Like, that's like 5,000 years ago, like 10, whatever it is. You know, 10,000 years ago. It's like, listen,
we'll just go back to the Sumerians.
Yep.
And they speak about the Anunnaki. And the library we found in Samaria, which was completely intact. And Zechariah Stitchin started writing about it because he was the first one to crack the language. And they had to stop it because of what he was writing.
I believe all that shit, and I do I do believe that that the world's in trouble, but we'll just keep going along.
In reality, we're just a bunch of peons, and we're out here riding on this stupid rock on the outside. And
this is what I have to say, buddy.
Whenever the rock wants, it'll destroy us.
Exactly.
Like it's doing right now in L.A.
Exactly.
Which is crazy.
But you know what? Go Lions. I'm a big Lion fan. I love Campbell.
Yeah,
I hope the defense could
win or lose. I'm still happy because we had a great season.
I mean, I do believe if the injuries didn't happen, they were a lock to win the Super Bowl. I picked the Ravens and the Lions preseason with the Ravens winning the Super Bowl. Why change my picks now? So
Ravens look good today. They kick some butt.
The fucking anybody Lions, looks good against the Steelers.
They got heart. That's the only thing they're playing left with is heart.
Well, they got the best offensive line, and they're gonna score 30 on anybody. And so as long as they score 30, they're gonna have a chance. So
yeah. All
right, my man. Have a great weekend. Thanks for calling.
It's all coming down to takeovers, baby.
You got it. Take care, my man.
Who gets the most takeovers wins the game.
Yep.
But hey, it was good talking with you, Mike.
You too.
And have fun in poker. I'm a long life poker player. I retired at 47.
Nice.
And the game of poker helped me do that.
Nice. Nice. Well, have a great weekend.
Enjoy the game.
You too.
And keep cashing in.
All righty. Take care. Later.
All right. Bye-bye.
You got to squeeze this one in. It's a special caller.
It's probably my friend. No.
I haven't heard from this guy in a long time.
Hello.
Welcome to Mouthpiece, Mike.
Hey, Mike. Kenna James.
Kenna, what's up, buddy?
Oh, shit, man. First-time listener, first-time caller. I see you have 167 shows.
Yeah.
Holy shit, man. From one old-timer to another.
Yeah.
Well done, man.
Didn't I recently see you at the WPT? Like the last couple
I was at the WPT
and
here in Vegas at the Wynn.
Yeah. So how you been, man?
Doing good. I'm sitting out here on my porch here in Las Vegas, looking up at Mars and Jupiter on either side of the moon, listening to the podcast, and I just want to say I love your integrity, man.
Thanks,
you
man.
are a great voice. Love the show. I'm gonna be a listener.
Nice.
And I know you're near the end of the night. I wanted to end with an exclamation mark and just appreciate what you're doing and what you're going through. I mean,
did you see my
just have
documentary?
a lot of empathy.
Did you see my documentary?
I'm gonna watch it tonight.
Nice.
I promise you.
All right.
I've got I've read your book. And seriously, I'm gonna watch it tonight.
Nice.
I'm out here on my porch having a cigar, and I just felt compelled to talk to you and say, great job, keep up the fight. You know when
I think of you, Kenna, I always think of the hand at the at the Tournament of Champions when I think I busted you. You had King 9, and it was a big pot, and it kind of catapulted me to the final table. And I know we played a million hands together, but that was always the one that always stuck in my mind.
Oh my God, but you are a competitor, and last time we really talked is a long time ago. It's many years ago. It was at the Borgata, and you're dealing with whatever you're dealing with.
Yeah.
But it takes such courage, to fight through not just the mental toughness that you need to compete at the level, but the physical pain,
Yeah.
It's a lot. So I just want to say I appreciate that.
Poker's all mental, man, and when you have to deal with both, it's pretty tough. And I think right now, I was struggling mentally the last 3-4 weeks, but right now I feel really good. And hope my medication's working good, and hopefully good things are going to happen here.
What's, if you don't mind me asking, what's the mental struggle?
Something happened that really bothered me a lot. It was just in my personal, just something with in a poker game I was dealing with, and it had a mental effect on me, and I kind of got depressed. But now everything's fixed and everything's good, and so a lot of times when something, I'm pretty easily able to overcome things mentally. But when something bad happens and I don't have a car and I'm sitting at home and I'm not getting out, then the negativity starts to fester, and then bad things happen. And
well, let me tell you, I've got a car, and I don't know what side of town you are. I'm over here in Spanish Trail, but I'm serious. I mean, I'm more than welcome.
Originally, my car got wrecked and they gave me money for it, and originally I was going to buy another one, but I don't really travel that much, so I just started taking Ubers whenever I wanted to go places. And I could still do that, but for some reason I find myself not doing it enough, and I don't get out of the house enough. So
you need a reason. You need some motivation.
Right.
So get your ass over here. We'll sit out. Do you smoke cigars?
No, but I'll come hang out anyways.
Come hang out. We'll have a chat. I'm telling you,
sounds good, Kenna.
I'd love to do that. And one other thing on the guy. So just to bring it back to poker, I love the politics and the poker and life, and it's just a great discussion all around. But the guy's on Notre Dame. There's so much value. He keeps hitting this word value, right? And it's so tricky to quantify value other than somebody's opinion.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what we have to do in poker. We have to can we really assess value to something other than our opinion?
Mm-hmm.
No,
you're right.
It's like in poker, when you've got value, if you got a flush draw, right? And you're getting 3-1, the pot's giving you 5-1, and you're 2 or 3-1 against, you got value, right?
Yeah.
But people put so much value in the weight of their opinions.
I tell people this all the time, right? It's like, Jeremy Osmond's been winning everything everywhere, right? The guy's on the biggest rush of his life. And if you take the player who's a 10 and the player is an 8. Let's just say on a scale of 1 to 10 as a no limit hold'em player, I'm an 8, and these guys are 10s. Do you know how long it would take to show a difference between a 10 and an 8?
Shit.
It's whoever catches cards just wins.
Yeah.
And the thing is if you keep your ego in check and realize egos will make you, cards will break you. Stay humble, dude. It's the humble people. Jeremy Osmus is humble, right?
Oh, wow.
Nick Schulman, he's humble, right? Look at the people that are winning.
Bill Helmuth, he's humble.
No, he's not humble. But it's not like Phil's out there winning tons of tournaments. Phil wins a bracelet every 2 or 3 years.
I've lost one.
You know, it's like Phil's not like playing all the tournaments and dominating, you know, but the people that, you know, that are doing well are people that are humble, like even Ike, you know. You might not like Ike. Yeah. You know, I like him. You know, I think he's a good-hearted guy, but you know, but he's humble. You know, Osmus is humble. Even Chidwick is humble. Like the ones that are humble are the ones that are winning. You know, you got to just stay humble and just keep your head down. You know.
That's a really good point, man.
Yeah.
It's a really good point. Speaking of which, your private game, is it? And we're talking about value, right? So thinking about these guys at they're competing in these Poker Go studio events.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the value?
Well, that's the thing. It's like when I showed up the other day, right? I said, "Okay, I'm gonna play with you guys to see if my dick's as big as you guys today." Because it's like, it's the same 45, 50 people that are on a dick measuring contest. You know, it's like Like there's like no, besides Jeremy who's been on the 2-year rush, but you know, and Nick's having a great year this year, but like it's not the same people aren't winning every year. If they were, you could say, wow, these guys are much better. You know, they're just the same people. Like
Seidel seems to always be
what does
doing
he
the
want?
test of time.
He hasn't really won much the last 2 years. He had a good run about 3-4 years ago. You know, like
I don't know. Let's fact check that. I'm not really sure, but he seems to be a humble guy that does everything right.
I mean, he's good at 2 games, PLO and No Limit Hold'em. You know. But
what's your private game? What's the game?
I just play like 10, 20, 40 No Limit Hold'em, and then I play in a smaller
That's
20.
a big fucking game.
Yeah, it could get big, and then I play in a 25, 50 Omaha 8 stud 8 game. Which is kind of small, but you know, I just play that for fun if I just want to fuck around for a couple hours, and keep my split games sharp. And that's about it, man.
Good. Well, I just want to say, man, you're doing great. I'm serious. I'm gonna watch the movie tonight. Right. I'm gonna
make sure you rate. Make sure you put a rate and review at the end.
And I'll come in and from time to time we'll talk about some old time. Talk about some old time shit.
Sounds good.
And when you're ready. You got my number now. Just give me a call. We'll sit down and have a chat.
Sounds good, Kenna. Good hearing from you. Have a great weekend.
You too, brother.
All right.
Stay well.
Take care.
Bye.
All right, let's take one more caller. We got a lot of players listening tonight. That's really good.
We still have like 3 or 4 more.
I don't have 3 or 4. We've been on for 2 hours. Over 2 hours. Over 2 hours. This will be take my last call. Oh, welcome to Mouthpiece. It's Mike.
Hey, Mike. This is Rick Davis Jr. from Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Hey, Rick. How are you doing, buddy?
Oh, not bad. I was wanting to know, so my dad is he's a gold and diamond businessman, and he goes out and plays poker a lot with some of his women, and excuse me, but he's a coke snorter, and but you got any tips for him on how to? So he's got a debt that's owed against him for let's see, he had these 2 brothers killed. And, so he snorts coke too, but he owns this gold and diamond business in Chattanooga, Tennessee. But he's just wanting to know any tips on how you're able to beat a debt before his illegal store goes out of business.
So I think he's saying that he needs to beat a debt before he gets convicted of something.
He was in debt. Is that what you were saying?
Yes, he killed these 2 brothers, and they're thinking it was him, and we're trying to cover it up as much as we can.
Are you? Are you? I mean, are you? What? Are you fucking with me? Like, what?
Well, you know, if you want to call my Papa Rick, you're more than welcome to. And
no, it's all good.
The same thing I'm telling you.
Okay, so if he's serious,
But yeah, he's just wanting to know some tips on how he can get out of debt by gambling.
Oh, get out of debt by gambling? Well, that's probably not a good idea. Like, but like,
so he wants to pay back the families. That way, you know, we don't have to go to the police about this. You know, he's wanting to pay him like $250K.
I mean, I don't know where to begin, man. I wish I could. I mean, like, I don't.
You know, obviously, you know, he's got 2 dead bodies on the.
Oh, come on, man. Come on. All right, man. Have a good weekend.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay. He had 2 dead bodies.
That was like the best prank call we ever got.
Oh, Mookie, what are you doing, little kitty? Do you guys see my little kitten today? He's so big.
Do you want one more or no?
I think we could close it out on the fucking prank call. All right, my number 1 pick of the week on the We Win podcast was the Ravens today. Of course, I bet the other side. My number 2 pick was the Bills over Denver. Good luck tomorrow. Enjoy the football. Watch my documentary. Danny's posted the link in the bio. Put it again in there. And rate and review it at the end on the bottom right. And I hope you guys all enjoy it. Thanks for listening to the Mouthpiece. Love you guys.
The Mouthpiece.